Hey guys, Blocktrain here with another video, and I'm starting my first coin review today, and I'm going to be talking about Neblio. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't know what Neblio is, and if you don't, I really believe in this coin, and I think it's going places. The team, the idea, the white paper, the roadmap, all great. Roadmap's being met. Idea is great. Execution is great, and the team, although small, have really proven that they're really top tier amongst everyone else in the crypto world. They only have, I think, 5 or 6 people in their team, but they've done so much that it's not even a remote concern to me. So let me get right into it and show you why I think Neblio is the best platform token out there after Ethereum. Now, I think Ethereum is more established, but at the same time, I think Neblio really has the means to replace Ethereum as a business enterprise blockchain platform coin. So let's get into it. And first, I want to talk about Neblio Orion. Now, this is a web wallet. So what that means is that if you go on orion.nebel.io, you immediately have a web wallet. Now, they give you your private key. They give you everything you need to be secure. But you don't have to download anything. It's just on the internet for you, and it's really convenient. Now, what's great about this is that if you go into manage NTP1 tokens, now NTP1 tokens are like ERC720 tokens. So that means, they're tokens that can be created on top of the Neblio blockchain and can be coded to do their own things. So you can issue your first token in 2 clicks. As you can see, I literally got into the wallet, press manage NTP1 tokens, press click here. I can do a token symbol, BTC, say the issuer is, Kev, that's my name, Kevin. And I can, adjust the quantity right here and have it be trillions of tokens and call the token name Bitcoin Neblio. And, okay, this quantity is too much, but, 100 million or something of the sort would be fine. And you can add metadata fields, so, that's kind of coding into the token, and they're coming up with a lot of cool new things like RESTful APIs that can interact with the Neblio blockchain with traditional coding languages like Python, C++, JavaScript, Ruby, all these things. It's really some cutting edge blockchain stuff that they're doing. And really, Neblio's goal is to make it as easy as possible for these businesses, small or big, to not need someone specialized to build their own blockchain for them, but somebody who just, has a basic idea of what the blockchain does and, has the ability to use the languages that they're already familiar with like Java, Python, or C++, to code onto the blockchain and actually use the Neblio blockchain. And so I could issue that token right now. If I had I think it's 10 Nebel, if I had the 10 Nebel to create the NTP1 token, I could just make it right now. Ethereum is a little more complicated. It's still pretty simple. But comparing Neblio to Ethereum, my one thing about Ethereum would be that I don't like solidarity. I don't like the coding language that they've created. If it gains traction, sure, it'll be great, and it'll really establish Ethereum as a #1 player. But at the same time, we've had coding languages like Python, Java, C++ for years, decades, and I really don't think that's going to change anytime soon, especially since so many people are familiar with them, and there'll be a lot less bugs if they can use code that they're, intimately familiar with. So that's Neblio Orion. All your NTP1 tokens will be right here, and you can send and receive Neblios, right here. So this is a really simple web wallet, and it's really cool. But even past that, they have Windows, Mac, Linux, and GitHub wallets. So GitHub wallets, that's not really a wallet. It's just, a GitHub to show you, you can download the daemon, which is the terminal wallet. So you interact with the wallet in the terminal with code. A little more complicated, but so they have these for desktop platforms. They also have Electron, Android, Raspberry Pi, and Docker wallets. So in total, that's 8 wallets right now. Or maybe 7 if we're discounting GitHub. And iOS is coming soon. They've put out that the iOS app is has been, submitted to Apple, and it's really up to Apple to approve them. So, they've done all the work that they could do. And they came out in September 2017, so it's only been around 6 months. When they first came out, they already had, a couple of core wallets already out and a working blockchain system. So this is a team that even before they had their ICO, they had the work done. This is not some team where you have to speculate, hey, will they actually do some stuff after we give them the money? No, it's, hey, we've done some stuff. We want to do more. Please give us some money. And that's kind of more in line, I think, with what many platforms should be doing because, why raise money if you have nothing? You don't need that much just to code something small to show, that you're invested. And I think it shows right here that, in the 7 months that they've been operating, they've made all these wallets. They've made the Orion wallet. They have NTP1 tokens, which Ethereum didn't have for, a year or two. It's really showing that they're working at an accelerated pace compared to other tokens, and I really like that. That said, let's talk about the roadmap, which really shows that. So their roadmap, which started in February 2017, which was that by the first half of Q3 2017, Neblio is publicly announced and that the ICO comes. They've done that. Now, the second half, they would acquire top talent. Really, they haven't gotten that many more people. They've only gotten, I think, 1 or 2 more people in their team, which is insanely impressive because they've done so much with so little number of people. And I think that's really, really nice to see, especially given, these huge blockchain tokens, which have like a team of 200 people, but like almost no mainnet. They have almost no progress done. So it helps you kind of see the context that if a team of 6 or 7 people can do this much, what are those team of 200 people doing? And I think when you're making your first, when you're making the infrastructure for your blockchain, having 200 people can actually be a bad thing because there are so many people writing different lines of code. Maybe they don't all work together. And it's just too many things to juggle at once when you just need something basic at the start. And I think Neblio has really pinned that down. First half of Q4 2017, Electrum Light wallets along with official Android and iOS apps. Now, they haven't done the iOS apps, but like I've explained, that's not their fault. Electrum Light wallets and Android apps have all come out. So that was their, just this is what we want to do in Q4. Staking wallets for Raspberry Pi and Docker. They did that. They're out. Q1 2018, RESTful APIs for interacting with the Neblio network. Now, this is huge. If you guys don't know what this is basically just something that the Neblio team can build, which says, hey, we're going to make tools to make it easy to interact with the blockchain. So they're thinking about, what does a blockchain need? What would somebody who's trying to make a blockchain need? And they have examples here, which is healthcare record management, supply chain contract negotiation and validation, and online identity management applications. So basically they're thinking, hey, if somebody were to build a token on top of our blockchain, what functionality would they need? And then they code that so that it's easy in these RESTful APIs. Now, just a quick side note, NTP1 tokens are actually not on this roadmap because they weren't going to come out until Q4 2018, until way later this year or even next year. But they found themselves so far ahead of schedule, they decided, let's just make the NTP1 tokens right now. And that's insane for a crypto world where, it's built on hype, it's built on, hey, they're going to do this soon. For a team to come out and say, hey, we really finished everything we wanted to accomplish by the time that we said we'd accomplish it. So we came up with something that was going to be a year later. That really shows the standards of the team and their dedication to their project. It shows that they're constantly working and the results speak for themselves. And something I really like is that with these RESTful APIs, the idea is that they're making it really easy for businesses, big or small, to use their blockchain. But a lot of developers, even if they're familiar with the languages that Neblio is going to offer, like C++, Java, or Python, they still might not really know how to work with the Neblio blockchain. Now, Neblio recently announced in the past week that they are creating something called Neblio University. Now, a very, bare bones version of it is out right now, but the idea is that this is a place to learn about Neblio, whether you're a developer or somebody just coming in right now. The idea is that, hey, you can come here and learn. There will be a community, and the Slack community, I visited it. It's great. There's going to be a community here to help you out with everything you need. The team, Eddie Smith, all these different developers who are working with Neblio, 2 or 3 really. They're going to be here helping out, making new instructional videos, really just helping you get there. Helping you get to the goal that you want to get to when using the Neblio platform. And I think this is a really smart idea because blockchain is so new, because these businesses, they see the appeal of the blockchain, but they don't know how to utilize it. And Neblio is really taking that extra step to say, hey, we'll make this easy for you. If your needs are simple, use our platform. And a lot of businesses' needs for the blockchain will be simple, which is just, something like healthcare records management. Just regular records management. By automating that with the blockchain by itself will save so much time and money for these companies, and it's a very simple thing that the blockchain can do. And that's exactly the types of things that Neblio is trying to target in the business market. They're a blockchain as a service business. So that said, let's get into the token itself. Now, Neblio currently is at $8.12. It went up a decent amount today. It was at around 780 last I checked until now. And if you see here, they started in September and they were really just coasting along. They got all the way up to $5 in October. They kind of went down, and then right here is when the NTP1 tokens came out. Complete surprise announcement. Came out, towards the January 5th. And it was just a bombshell for anybody who knew anything about Neblio, which was, hey, these people are just way ahead of schedule. They have this token that you can make, just like the ERC20 tokens. No other token other than Neo and Ethereum has that right now. And the price skyrocketed all the way to around $60. If you were here for this, it was crazy. It went from $7 all the way to $60 in the span of, I think, like 3 or 4 hours. And then it just dropped, of course, because nothing can go up that high and not expect to drop. Now, because of this recent dip, it's gone down back to around where it was, which is $8.10. So this is a really good time to buy, in my opinion. Maybe it'll go down more, but Neblio has really shown that it's resilient to market movements. In the sense, now I know this looks bad, going from $60 to $8, but you have to realize that 60, even though it was the peak, was really, if you look at time frame, it really wasn't at 60 for anywhere near a long time. This was just overhyping the NTP1 tokens by the people, not by the team. Who came out, with the tokens way ahead of schedule. But there was just a very quick fallback back to around $20, and it kind of stabilized around $30 for a little bit, and then it started going down because of just the general market sentiment, bearish sentiment. But at the same time, if you compare Neblio to other altcoins, Neblio is nowhere near its ICO price. And for a coin that only came out in September, this is a pretty huge deal. When it first came out for its ICO, I think it was around 20 cents or something like that. Right now, it's at $8. So you're still getting thousands upon thousand times returns if you got in at the ICO. Now, compare this to something like Deep Brain Chain, which came out in December. Yes, a little bit later, but still pretty comparable in terms of time. Deep Brain Chain is all the way down to 4 cents. It started at like 3 cents or 2 cents maybe. So, the difference there is really noticeable. And it really shows, in my opinion, because that Neblio is still at $8, even though Bitcoin is down like 70%. That Neblio is, a solid project, that there are a lot of long-term holders who are behind this project. Not selling, just staking. This is a staking coin, by the way, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So, yeah, that's what I think what the price means is that there are just enough people to stabilize the price around, $7, $8, just because if it goes lower than that, these people understand that Neblio is a very good project and that it doesn't deserve to be that low, so they'll buy more in comparison to the entire market. So that's it. Let's get into staking economics. Now, Neblio is a proof of stake coin, but it works a little differently than Neo, which, or VeChain, which has Ven and Thor, or it has Neo and Gas, Neo and Gas. It's very different from those types of projects because Neblio is the only currency that you're going to deal in when you're staking. So how it works is that, let's say you have 300 Neblio. Within a year, they guarantee, hey, you'll get 30 Neblio. You'll get 10% of the Neblio back. So within a year, you'll have 330 Neblio if you stake constantly. Now, that's 10% returns. And that might sound a little crazy to you guys. Like, how can you guarantee 10% returns? How does that work when there be inflation? So Neblio's supply is currently at around 13 million. Now, how this works is that Neblio is actually inflationary. So unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, the supply is not static. It doesn't keep going down. It actually goes up like the US dollar. Now, that might sound like a bad deal to you guys, but the idea is that if you're spending Neblio, if you're using Neblio on their network, you don't really care that the price is going up because you're spending it anyway. You're not really holding anything. But if you are holding, that means you're staking. And if you're staking, you're getting 10% returns. So how it works is that if there are 13 million Neblio, let's say only 4 million are staking. That means there are going to be 400,000 extra tokens in that year if 4 million Neblios are staking because of 10% returns. Now that 400,000 gets added to this total supply. So if we say it's 13 million, then it will be 13,400,000. So for the people who are staking, they made their 10%. But for the total supply of Neblio, it gets offset by the percentage of people staking. So if only, 4 million, so that's, let's say 30% of people are staking, then the total supply goes up by 400,000. But the total supply of those people staking also goes up by 400,000. So you're beating inflation by staking. You make 10% returns, but there's 4% inflation. So you're making, the profit between those two numbers. And I think it's actually a really smart system because it manages the juxtaposition between having a spending currency versus a holding currency. For example, one of the main arguments against Bitcoin's supply deflation is that why would anybody want to spend their Bitcoin when they know the price is going to go up? And here, Neblio has really solved that problem because, if you're holding Neblio, you're making money. If you're spending Neblio, that's okay. It's still inflationary. So the idea is that you're getting the best of both worlds in this, Neblio economy right here. And this system is actually one that makes a lot of sense to me because, if a lot of people start using Neblio, you're going to need more Neblio. You don't want to say, hey, we have this network, but at some point it's going to run out. If enough people use it, things get lost, wallets get lost. The coins are going to run out and they'll just get lower and lower and lower. And yes, it might sound good because the price is going up, but at the same time, if there are so little coins, at what point are people like, hey, I don't want to spend 0.000002 of something to buy this candy bar. That just seems, like a little too little of something. Maybe I want, 2 of that. And so I think Neblio's tokenomics, as I like to call them, is really solid and really shows that the Neblio team put some thought into it. And overall, I just want to touch on everything that I just mentioned, which is that, Neblio, blockchain platform, one of the types of coins that I think will really boom in this next year or two. Really small market cap. They're only at 100 million market cap. So if they get anywhere near where Ethereum or Neo is, which is, 5-6 billion, maybe lower than that for Neo right now, maybe like 3 billion. Even at 3 billion, it's going to be at $300, 30x returns. If it gets even close to 10 billion, that's $1,000. That's 100 times returns. Now, of course, this is all speculation, but when you really look at what Neblio is up against, which is Neo, Ethereum, Lisk, Stratis, those types of coins, they're really ahead of coins like Lisk or Stratis, and I would say they're really on par developmentally speaking, at least with Ethereum or Neo. Maybe not in the same terms of adoption, but I think that's really coming for Neblio, especially because in Q2, if you look at their roadmap right now, they're starting their marketing campaign launch. So this is really when people are going to start learning about Neblio, because Q2 just started. Again, wallets, they have the Orion wallet, which can manage all of your NTP1 tokens. These wallets actually cannot, but apparently functionality is coming soon. They have 7-8 wallets already out, which is crazy. You know, some people don't even have one wallet out yet. Some teams don't even have one wallet out. They have the Neblio University, and also, something I forgot to mention is that the Neblio team, they hold a decent amount of tokens. They actually bought into their own tokens, so it's not like they're just receiving free money. They actually said, hey, at ICO, we're going to buy all the tokens to show that we're actually serious about this project. Another really good sign by the team. So you might be wondering, hey, where are they going to make their money from if not from the Neblio token? And I actually think this is brilliant. They're a client. They're a client-based business. So what they do is they say, hey, we built this Neblio platform. Everybody who holds Neblio will gain if you go onto this platform, including us. But, sustained income-wise, we'll help you. The Neblio team will go out, contact businesses, and say, hey, we'll help you build this blockchain platform for money. So basically, they're just like clientele. They're going to have clientele that they work for and build these blockchain platforms for. And really, who better to build your blockchain than the people who created the platform that you're going to be on? So I think the Neblio team has really created themselves a sustainable environment in which token holders, token spenders, and the Neblio team can all thrive together. And overall, I just think it's a great project with a great team, with a great idea, great roadmap, great execution, and just all around very well thought out. So that said, that was Neblio. That is why I believe Neblio will be one of the biggest coins in the near future. I'm talking 1 or 2 years. And why I think you guys should check it out and do your own research and see if this is something you guys would be interested in. So thank you guys for watching. I'm still really new in my video making journey. So any criticism would be appreciated, constructive criticism, any suggestions for what I could do next, some things to improve on. I'd really appreciate it. So please throw me something in the comments or give me a direct message. Again, it would mean the world to me if you guys did that. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will be back soon.